guys, welcome to this video. Today we will be doing the gross anatomy of the pancreas. So let's get started. Gross anatomy of pancreas. Let me check if the video is running smoothly. Yeah, it's running smoothly. We'll do first the location. The location of the pancreas, as we all know, that it's around L1 and L2 of the vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae, L1 and L2 of lumbar vertebrae, and it lies more or less transverse across the posterior abdomen wall. We know that this is the front of human, this is the back of human. So the pancreas lies over here like this. So the pancreas is here across the posterior abdominal wall. Across the posterior abdominal wall. Then comes the size and shape. For shape, I remember that it is a retort shape. It can be also called J-shaped or retort shaped. We all know, you must be knowing or you must not be knowing that in the chemistry lab they use a funnel shaped that retort, and it has the bowl. It is like this, the bulged end, and it has the funnel like here. So it is called the pancreas funnel like this. So it is called the retort shaped. So the bulb of the retort represents the head of pancreas. Bulb of retort, head of the pancreas, and the stem of the retort represents the remaining parts, that is neck, body and tail. Then there is the size. I have remembered like this, always remember like this: length, broad, thickness. 15 to 20 centimeters, 2.5 to 3.5 centimeters, 1.2 to 1.8 centimeters. So this is the length, breadth, broad and thickness of the pancreas. As you can see, the length is 15 to 20 centimeters, so it is a elongated organ, and broad is common, and thickness you can see 1.2 to 1.8 centimeter, and the weight of the pancreas is 90 grams. Weight of pancreas is 90 grams. Then comes we know that the pancreas is divided into head, neck, body, tail, 4 parts. Then we will first we'll do the head. Head, its borders, its surfaces, and it has one process. Wait, I will draw the small flow chart. So this is the pancreas. It has the head. The head has 3 borders, 2 surfaces and 1 process. 3 borders, 2 surfaces, 1 process. So 3 borders are superior, inferior and right lateral border. Superior, inferior and right lateral border. Don't worry guys, I'm just making the flow chart. After that I will be making the diagram so that you can visualize its borders completely. Then it has 2 surfaces, anterior and posterior. Then it has one process that its name is unkiinate process. Okay, so this is the small flow chart of the head. So now let's make the diagram of the borders of the head of the pancreas. These are very simple. It took around one or two revisions to learn this. It is very simple. I will show you how. This is the pancreas. Okay, and its borders has direct relations with the duodenum part of the stomach. Duodenum part of the intestine. So this is, I'm drawing the duodenum very smoothly. So this is the duodenum and this is the head. This is the first part, second and third, and this is the unkinate process. As you can see, this is the superior border, this is the inferior border, and this is the right lateral border. Okay, so as you can see, these borders, on the upper border is the superior border. It is related to the first part of the duodenum and it has the superior pancreatico-duodenal artery, and the third part is the inferior border of the head of the pancreas is related to the third part of the duodenum, and it has the uh, inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, and the second part, the right lateral border, is related to the second part of the duodenum, and it has the bile duct is passing like this from behind, and it forms the anastomosis between superior pancreatico-duodenal artery and inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery. So this was the borders. I have told you about the borders. No need to write, you just learn it. You can simply learn it from the diagram. So then let's go to the surfaces. It has two surfaces. I will straight away draw the diagram of the surfaces. Wait a second. I will now draw the diagram. We are done with the borders of the head of the pancreas. Now it's time for the surfaces. There are, as I have told you, 3 to 1. There are two surfaces. So now let's draw the diagram. There are two surfaces, anterior and posterior. Anterior surface and posterior surface, both they have a lot of relations. I have learned that in the anterior surface of the pancreas, it has duodenum, jejunum and colon. Duodenum, transverse colon and jejunum. And in the posterior surface, it also has a lot of relations, like it has a lot of relations like inferior vena cava. One is inferior vena cava. Then is terminal part of renal veins. There are two renal veins. I will draw the diagram also. Terminal parts of renal veins and right crux of diaphragm. Right, crux, as we know, this is the ligament part of the diaphragm. So this is the right crux of diaphragm. Then one more thing, that from here passes, as I have already told you before, that bile duct runs downward and to the right and is often embedded in the substance of pancreas. There is bile duct present. So this runs downwards and to the right like this. I will demonstrate it. It runs downwards and to the right, and it is embedded in the substance of pancreas. Matlab, this is present inside the substance of pancreas. Now let's draw the diagram to just simplify the two surfaces. Let's do it. First, let's draw the anterior surface. This is the, as you know, unkinate process, and it also has the in anterior surface and posterior surface. In the anterior surface, these are present superior mesenteric vessels. Superior mesenteric vessels. So as I have told you, in the anterior surface there is present duodenum, jejunum and transverse colon. This is the duodenum and this is the transverse colon and this is the jejunum. Duodenum, transverse colon, jejunum. So this is the anterior surface of the head, and and let's draw now the posterior surface. Posterior surface we can draw like this a little bit. Yes. So I have learned it while correlating it with the Jesus sign. Okay, so this is the Jesus sign, and this is the inferior vena cava. These are the left renal vein. This is the right renal vein, and it also has the crux, right crux of diaphragm, which is the ligament part, right crux of diaphragm, and the uncinate process also has one aorta passing through it in the posterior surface. In the anterior surface, this uncinate process has superior mesenteric vessels, and in the posterior surface, let's color them so you can easily visualize what is the artery and what is vein. This is the aorta. As you can visualize, this is aorta. And this is the vein, inferior vena cava. I know I'm very bad in drawing, and I give my diagrams and histology books to my sister to draw the diagrams, very neat and clean diagrams she draws. Okay, So this is the inferior vena cava, and this is the head. And one more thing I forgot to tell you, there is bile duct passing posteriorly from here and below the right renal vein. This is embedded in the pancreas substance, and this is the bile duct coming downwards and forward, downward and to the right. Okay guys, then unkinate process. These are the superior mesenteric vessels, one is artery and one is vein, and in the unkinate process posteriorly, this is the anterior surface and this is the posterior surface. So I hope you are clear with the two surfaces. Now we'll go to the we are done with the two surfaces, one process and three borders, and we have completed the body of no, we have completed the head of pancreas. Now we'll proceed towards the next part, which is the neck. So let's get started with the neck. Neck of the pancreas. So there is very less relations, or very little relation, because the surface area of the neck is very less. It is slightly constricted. I will just give the introduction. Slightly constricted part of the pancreas. It lies between the head and the tail. It is directed forward, upward and to the left. So we know that if this is the, as you can visualize, this is the body, this is the unkinate process, and this is the body, and here is the neck. It is directed forward. Forward means forward, upward means upper side, and to the left means towards the heart, or this spleen, you can say. Then it has two surfaces, anterior and posterior surfaces. We will draw the diagram for the surface, anterior and posterior. Anterior surface is related to the peritoneum, covering the posterior wall. There is lesser sac, as you know, lesser sac present. So the anterior is covering the anterior surface of the neck is covering the posterior surface of the lesser sac, posterior wall of the lesser sac, and the posterior surface is related to the termination of superior mesenteric vein. Termination, I will draw the diagram and then you will be able to visualize. Termination of superior mesenteric vein and beginning of portal vein. So the vein is once just the name changed because it passed from one structure to the another. So let's draw the diagram to visualize this. So for the anterior surface, I will draw diagram. This is the neck part. Here was the unkinate body, then neck, then this is the neck part, and here comes the so I forgot to tell you that it is also related to the pylorus. In the anterior surface there is a pylorus present, relation with the pylorus. So this is the pylorus. As you can recall that this is the pylorus is the is the part of the stomach at the end, where there is a pyloric sphincter present also, I can remember. And in the posterior surface, like this is the vein coming, this is the vein, this is the neck region, So the termination of the superior mesenteric vein, the superior mesenteric vein is terminated here, beginning of the portal vein, and the portal vein begins from there, which goes to the liver, and and this is a splenic vein. So as we all know that here is the spleen and here is the mesentery. So the spleen and the superior mesentery pass the deoxygenated blood in the portal vein and then it goes in the liver. So this is the relation of the neck present. Then we come to the body. The first part was the head, then the neck, then the body, and then last is the tail. Okay, so this is all for the neck, and then we come to the body, and 21 minutes have been passed since we have started. Body of the pancreas. The body of the pancreas is elongated. The body of the pancreas is elongated, as I will draw the diagram. So it has 3 borders and 3 surfaces present. 3 borders and 3 surfaces present. The borders which are present are anterior, superior and inferior. You will be thinking that it is very difficult to remember. I will make it very easy through the visualization of the diagram. Anterior, superior and inferior. There are 2 surfaces, 3 surfaces, anterior, posterior and inferior. This will also be visualized. Anterior, posterior and inferior. This this is very important because it has too much structures present. 6 structures, as I can remember, there are 6 structures present. So now we'll draw the diagram for the borders, and you will be thanking me for the visualization, because after that you will be remembering these borders whole of your life. So let's do it, guys. Yes, I will be drawing the diagram. Here is the bulge, and this is the pancreas. This is the uncinate process, and we are done with the pancreas shape. This is the celiac trunk. Here is the this spleen. This is the spleen, and in the anterior border there is present root of transverse mesocolon. Root of transverse mesocolon, and here are present the vessels, superior mesenteric vessels, superior mesenteric vessels. So this will be passing, this all is the body. So these vessels will be passing from here, and then this is the pancreas, and this bulge out there is known as tuber omental. This tuber is like the tuber is also like a bulge, so this has given the name tuber omental. So now let's go with the superior border. This is the superior border. Superior border, as you can clearly visualize, in the superior border there is celiac trunk, this celiac trunk, and over the tuber omental. This is the tuber omental, इसके ऊपर है celiac trunk. Then we know that we have studied stomach, that hepatic artery, the liver is present, or most of the liver is present on the left side. So the hepatic artery will be the liver is present on the right side. I'm sorry. Liver is present mostly on the right side, so this is the hepatic artery going to the right, and in the left we know that there is the splenic artery, so the splenic artery will be going to the left. So this is the superior border. Then anterior border, this is the anterior border. Anterior border is related to the root of a transverse mesocolon, and inferior border is related to the superior mesenteric vessels at its right end. This is the inferior borders. So as you can see that with the visualization of diagram, I was completely able to localize the three borders very easily. So now we will go for the surfaces. So there are three surfaces: anterior, posterior and inferior. Three surfaces: anterior, posterior and inferior. The anterior surface is concave and is directed upward and forward. We'll draw the diagram for this. Anterior surface, as you can imagine, that it is a concave and is directed forward and upward, like we did the neck intro, that it is forward and upward. The same with the body. Then it is covered with the peritoneum and is related to the lesser sac of the stomach. You know, the lesser sac is very important in relation to the pancreas. We have studied lesser sac previously in the pancreas in the, I don't know where we studied, I forgot. Lesser sac. Wait a second, I will tell you. Yes, we have studied the lesser sac in the anterior surface of the pancreas, anterior surface of the neck of the pancreas. So I was not able to recall because this is the fresh topic. So we studied the lesser sac in the anterior surface of the pancreas, and now we are discussing it in the anterior surface of the body also. Neck of the pancreas in the body of the pancreas. It is covered by peritoneum and it is related to lesser sac. The posterior body is devoid of peritoneum and is related to the aorta with the origin of superior mesenteric artery. So for this posterior surface, as I have told you that this is very important, we will draw the diagram for this. So let's draw the diagram. So there will be the one Jesus sign. This is the inferior vena cava, and this is the kidney, suprarenal gland. Here is the spleen, and in the last I will draw the pancreas. Here is the aorta. There will be the root of one branch of aorta, that its name is superior mesenteric artery. So as you can visualize, we will do the superior mesenteric artery is present in the uncinate process. So we'll draw the uncinate process here. As you can see, I am very easily able to draw this diagram. So this was very easy. So I have drawn the pancreas. Now there will be one more splenic artery present, which will be supplying the spleen. So as you can visualize, in the posterior surface of the pancreas, it is devoid of peritoneum. No peritoneum. Yes, peritoneum. it will be having the aorta, which will be giving to origin to the superior mesenteric artery. This is the superior mesenteric artery. Then there will be the left renal vein. This is the left renal vein, and this is the inferior vena cava. There will be present, and there will be present the left kidney. There will be present the splenic vein and left crux of diaphragm. I forgot to draw the left crux of diaphragm. So this is the left crux of diaphragm. Posterior relations of the body of the pancreas. So then comes the inferior. We are left with the inferior. This is not very important. It is also covered with the peritoneum. Inferior surface. It as you can visualize that this is the lower part of the pancreas. So in the lower part of the pancreas there will be present duodenum, jejunum, and colic flexure. So the duodenum, jejunum flexure, there will be jejunum and the left colic flexure. Then comes the last part of today's topic, that is the tail of the pancreas. And we have completed now 31 minutes and 34 seconds. Now let's get started with the tail of the pancreas. In the tail of the pancreas, there is present a linorenal ligament. There is present a linorenal. I will take the help of the book to draw this diagram. Wait. Wait a second. So let's draw it. I forgot to draw this diagram. There will be the, I remember only there is a lesser sac and the greater sac. So this is the greater sac, this is the lesser sac, and there is covering of peritoneum. This is the stomach, and here is the spleen, and I will be drawing now the tail of the pancreas. This is the tail of the pancreas. As you can see, now you can visualize that this is the linorenal ligament. Linorenal ligament means it is the ligament between the spleen and the kidney. This is the linorenal ligament, and there will be present the splenic vessels. So this is the tail part of the pancreas. So now we have completed the gross anatomy, its head, body, tails, its body, and all the relations of the head, body, tail, and unkinate process and all that. Thank you for watching video, and please do watch the next video. I will be uploading soon about the ducts of the pancreas, arterial supply, venous drainage. Then we'll be covering the clinical also. Then we'll be covering the histology part, and we will be covering acini cells and various other things that would be useful. I will be taking the help of Dr. Najib lectures to modify some of my knowledge. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.